Hello, everybody. This is Frank White speaking from my basement. Like many of you, I'm staying home these days because of the coronavirus and the crisis that we are all facing. Since this began in mid-March, I've been blogging quite a bit about the concept that we are all in this together. It's a term, it's an idea that's being repeated consistently by everyone from Mike Pence to People magazine. And when I started this Zoom recording, In It Together is actually on the homepage of Zoom. I find it interesting that the reality of the fact that we are indeed all in this together, we are all the astronauts of Spaceship Earth, is coming through in such a visceral way as we are threatened by this virus, as compared with how we've responded to astronauts telling us that this is the main insight they brought back from outer space. As they looked at the planet from orbit or from a lunar mission, they could see no borders, no boundaries. Everything is connected. It's a whole system. There are no sides to a planet. And so this is the message of the overview effect. And it resounds throughout everything I've written, everything I've said, the talks I've given since the publication of my book on the topic in 1987. And now we have a situation where, for whatever reason, the threat that the virus presents to us brings out this reality. And I believe it's because, first of all, the virus knows no borders or boundaries. It travels freely over the planet. And secondly, no matter how rich or powerful or important you are, no matter how poor or marginalized you are, you're at risk. And we've seen this with famous people, wealthy people, entitled people getting the coronavirus. Now, I don't mean to say it's the same for everyone. It's not. It's far more dangerous, really, to be a homeless person on the streets of San Francisco than it is to be a movie actor or a prince. However, and of course, the medical care available to the privileged among us is going to be better. Nonetheless, at a very fundamental level, the virus is highly democratic. It really doesn't care what status you have. You can still get it, and you can still get sick from it, and unfortunately, you can die from it. This is mostly what I wanted to say for my first venture into talking about this on video, but I just want to leave you with this one thought. We've adopted also a metaphor that we're at war with the virus. And while I'm not crazy about warlike metaphors, I'm willing to go with it for this reason. The key question for me is what will we learn from the war? If you look at wars of the past, human wars, the future after a conflict is largely determined by the lessons learned. And often those lessons can be dramatically wrong. So in the next edition of this video diary, I'm going to talk about lessons learned in war or after war that shaped the future in a way that turned out to be somewhat negative, if not very negative, and really did not resolve the problems that caused the war in the first place. Thanks for listening and watching. I'll join you again in the near future.